Evolution of species and random impossibility. When we think about evolution, we usually think of luck. Why luck? Why is it believed that life arose in random, unguided reactions? What is it? Imagine that you have 3 dice and you want the value 1, 2, 3 to appear in that order and one next to the other. If you try to do this randomly, you may never see it happen. But you can do this by picking up the data, sorting them the way you want and casting them so the data tends not to tinker, so it is possible after a few attempts to get 1, 2, 3 into the die. Those who study biology know the complexity that is the genetic code is so complex that the human mind cannot understand programming, even using supercomputers. Now imagine that such complex codes have come up from something random. The probability would be none. Let us say that from simple molecules it was possible to construct extremely complex beings by factors of randomness. Then we would need so many attempts that it would be impossible to exist time in the universe for such beings to exist. In the laboratory, random values of low complexity are always more frequent than values of high complexity, which would increase the time to infinity so that the complex beings would be formed. It would be like throwing 3 dice and they falling on top of each other. Imagine the impossibility of this happening, but now imagine that it, besides falling one on top of the other, was on the order of 1, 2, 3 from the bottom up. And yet such a possibility is extremely inferior to the probability that simple molecules will eventually form extremely complex beings. Even today with extremely directed reactions it cannot be demonstrated that this probabilistic management system does indeed occur. And if you think in a mathematical way, it is impossible to accept such a random assumption. In other words, the only way to accept the evolved beings that exist today is by directed system. That is, a factor that directs the reactions so that they can form a specific order. For example, try to play the dice so that one falls on top of the other in the form of 1, 2, 3, one on top of the other. Now put 1 dice on top of the other in the order 1, 2, 3, and calculate the time to do each one. Possibly you would never be able to play the dice in the form 1, 2, 3, one on top of the other, but could put the dice on top of the other and form 1, 2, 3. That's the same logic of the difference between random evolution and intelligent designer. The first is impossible, the second is not. The question is, are rational people the correct would be the impossible or the possible?